I want you to put your hands together and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause for
The Black Delegates Podcast.
Yo, Herb, take it from the top. 1, 2. My mic sound nice. Check 1. My mic sound nice. Check 2. My mic sound nice. Check 3. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Black Delegates Podcast. Today's date is March the 28th, 2021, episode 151. We're on episode 151. We're getting old.
151 Bacardi. I like it.
Getting old. All right, I'm your host, the Black Ryan. I am here with my co-host. Let's go left to right, Box Wine Poppy.
Man, this is the most low energy intro I've heard in 151 episodes, man. Come on, you got to step it up, brother. Come on, let's do something. Come on. You got a fresh haircut. You chilling. You got the vaccine. You got the government, the tracking device, and you should be feeling good right now, man. Come on, get a little energy.
Right, let's do it over. Welcome to the Black Delegates Podcast. This is how you do it on YouTube, man. Bang that subscribe button. Let us know where you are. Send us some comments. Let us know. We'll talk to you soon, guys. We love you. That's how they do it for everything.
Notification bell. Hit that notification.
Yeah, hit that notification bell.
Gang.
Yeah, they say all kind of corny stuff. So there you go. If y'all want me to start coming in like that, I'll start doing it. Pretty corny. I hate it. But that's what I listen to all week long. So I'll be wanting to come in like NPR. Just be calm. Mm-hmm. All right. Then we got Ghetto Phenom.
What's good with it? Ergen.
Can we talk about why Ryan's haircut looks like Frederick Douglass? Like he gave him the Frederick Douglass haircut.
Why is it Frederick Douglass, man?
Yeah, that's racist. This is the first racist black person he could think of.
He just wanted to say something racist.
That was the first one in my head.
I got a taper. I got a taper on the side. Mm-hmm. I didn't twist it up tonight because I don't feel like it.
I see you got the little part. It's got like a little part right there on the side too. You see that? That's what I'm saying. That's the Frederick Douglass, man.
Bringing the part back.
That's what you got the Frederick Douglass going right there. I see, man.
It just looked like that.
You just stepped off the Underground Railroad.
The box with
there
the
you go.
step.
Let me push it to the side.
He stepped off right off the Underground Railroad. That's
hey,
fresh.
I should just cut that down and just had
That's messed up.
Just had a one-step joint. Like in middle school. All right. So I got comments last week from some of the listeners. They enjoyed the IRS tax conversation. Paul is trash with his financial advice, and I think they agree. So, hey, Mr. Panic, you were popular this week, man.
Don't worry.
So, you're welcome.
Don't worry. I've called the IRS. I've let them know to audit the Phenom. Don't worry. This is going to be a part 2 to this story. Don't worry. I'm still going to get that rower. I got plans on this.
Well, hey, but it just bolstered your possibility of being a CIA covert agent. So I think that's good for your street cred.
Double agent. That's what I want. Double agent. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So other than that, I think we good. I don't think we had anybody die. Nobody died this week.
Did we have anybody die? I don't know, man. I can't remember. No, nobody big.
Yeah, I know it was the white lady from Arrested Development.
Oh yeah, she did die. Oh yeah, I did like her.
Okay.
Yeah, the mom from Arrested Development. Yeah.
Yep. So other than that, I guess we can get straight into this week in blackness. Phenom. Get you off guard.
Not really, but I don't have too much. Actually, let's see. So today was like a moment in Black history.
What?
Ever since I've been in this crib, in this house, I don't know how long we've been here, probably like 6 years now. I've been periodically going to the wife and be like, yo, let's do the white people thing. Let's just take a walk. Just walk around the neighborhood and see what's popping. And every time she'd be like, nope.
Because we black.
Not doing it. Don't want to do it. Zero interest. And then this past week, she was like, yo, let's go for a walk on Sunday. So today.
Wow, a Sunday stroll.
Sunday stroll.
That's pretty white.
Moment in Black history. We went on a Sunday stroll. Just walked around the subdivision. And it was cool. The weather was nice. It's kind of cool, but not really cold like that. So had a nice little stroll on that. So, saw some some of the Caucasian delegation neighbors, also walking around, so give them the hello.
Did you have the members only jacket like the old folks? Did you have that? Would you like the old polo hat?
I did actually, because Pops had got me like this. I mean, it's a bomber jacket, but it's kind of hybrid members only / bomber. He had got me that for Christmas. So I was like, let me bust this out. I hadn't really worn it. I actually got another jacket very similar. I got a polo bomber jacket, and then he got me one that's like the same color. So I was like, let me bust this out. So yeah, absolutely. So that was cool. Another thing, I probably have discussed it on the pod. I was talking about the home improvement crap and this and that. I've decided I'm pretty much retiring from my do-it-yourself, the DIY fixer-upper.
Finally realized you ain't a brokey. You ain't a brokey no more. Pay somebody to do that.
It ain't even that that I'm not a brokey. It's that when I try to fix stuff, it be brokey. So every time I try to fix stuff around the house, it will last for a little while, and then it'll end up breaking again. So I'm like, man, let me quit playing and just hire people. So I did. I went on actually Nextdoor, asked for some recommendations for a handyman, got a couple, and I called one dude yesterday, and he seemed cool, seemed like the prices will be cool. We'll see. He's supposed to come out actually this Friday and do a couple of projects for me. So I'll report back on the next podcast. We'll see how it works out.
Should be interesting. Because handyman on Nextdoor, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But I think he'll be straight. I'm going to have him. I think I talked about a lot of the stuff. So that fan in the bathroom, that exhaust fan, he's going to replace that. Put a new one in there.
Oh, you trash. I can do that myself. Come on now. If I can do it, you can.
Remember you said it was a different size.
Yeah, it's hella old. And even when I told the dude, he was like, is it round or is it square? And I was like, the one in there now is round. And he's like, all right, well, I'll probably have to do some drywall or, so.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy, though. That's easy. It's not that bad. It ain't that bad, man.
I'm not doing all that, so. I'm going to have him do
that. That dude going to charge you triple, though, for all that, poop dust that's gonna be up in there, man. This is from 1960 up in that old ass fan, man. That's gonna be the wild part.
Maybe. Right. And then I got a door jamb on my screen door that keep coming out. The wind keep catching the screen door and it tears the opener off of the wall and cracks that. And I done replaced that 5 or 6 times. So I'm like, dude, I'm gonna just.
So Phenom is the dude in the neighborhood with the janky screen door that just opens up loud and bangs up against the house.
Pretty much, yep.
So it won't close though? Is that what you're saying? There's no latch?
No, it'll close, but it just keeps ripping it. It keeps ripping off. I've literally replaced the hydraulic door closer. Mm-hmm. Probably 6 or 7 times since I've been in this house.
Tearing the frame,
and eventually, if the wind catches the door, if one of us doesn't shut the door all the way or something like that, the wind catches it, and it not only rips the door open, but it cracks the door jamb. And so at first I figured out I was just putting in the wrong material, I was getting that cheap composite wood. So the first 3 times, just because I was buying the wrong stuff, but the last couple times I done bought real wood. But it's still tearing, so I'm clearly this ain't my thing. So I'm I'm gonna just hire somebody to do it. So.
Hey, look, but the fun. I ain't hating on you, Phenom. Definitely, if you can get somebody to knock these things that you can't fix. The only thing my cheap self, I'm just emasculated. If some dude comes in here and just starts doing stuff around my house and I'm I can't do that, I feel man. I just follow him around. And I was I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. So whenever I call somebody, it's always something I definitely cannot do. That's how I feel about it. But
like I said, I've been doing that stuff myself for the longest, and I'm just this ain't holding up. So
you're right, though. You're right. I mean,
let's get it right.
Yeah, me and Phenom been working hard our entire lives, man. It's time to let somebody else do this work.
I hear you.
And then, so last thing, I got a question for y'all. The wife and I were talking, actually. I was working on my computer earlier this afternoon, and I had my emails up, and she was just amazed because I had 4,700 unread emails or something like that.
Wow.
So she was like, why did you got all these emails unread? Like, she's like, it should be like 0 in your inbox as far as unread. So do y'all read all of your emails, or do you clear out your inbox? Do you leave stuff unread? Do you delete your email? Like, what's your email etiquette?
I clear them out, man. Like, ever so often, at least every couple months or so. I mean, this is your personal email. You got to go through that.
Right, not work email. Talking about your personal.
If it's your work email, you need to be checking that more often. Don't leave that stuff in there. But yeah, even the work emails, because sometimes you just leave stuff up and I'll be like, yeah, that's something I need to remind myself to go back and look at later, even though I already did it. Or I got to double check something. But yeah, man, just clear it out every couple months and make sure it's down to 0 if I can. Gmail's pretty good about not having no spam or nothing. So everything in there is something I want in there.
Box wide?
I'm not quite as my work email. I keep that up, but it's because it just gets out of hand. Because I work for a big corporation, so that we get just tons. Just like stuff like just has nothing to do with you, all this stuff like that. So you really have to kind of keep on. But the personal stuff, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not the most efficient with it. But I get the little alerts on my phone, so if it's something important, I'll see it when it comes through. But it'll be a lot of junk in there. And I do get some spam on my Google. So like every 6 months or so, I got to go in there and just I'll see it like in all the, I don't know what it is, like ftd.com, maybe I bought some flowers.
FTD get you. They always send stuff.
Yeah, but so like every 6 months or so, I probably need to do it more than that. It's probably not even every 6 months. It's probably more like every 9 months. But I'll go in there and I just get frustrated because I'll just get so much spam stuff. And I'll just do it like a big binge, unsubscribe, and I'll spend like an hour just doing all that. And then I'll get it down to a bit, and then 6 months from now. So I think I did this like maybe 3 weeks ago. So my emails are a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. But yeah, in like 6 months it'll be trash again. And
I'll do that too. Like because now Gmail especially, like, it used to just be completely unlimited. Now they'll they got the limits between that and the drive and all that. So if it starts getting full, I'll go and I'll either unsubscribe and delete stuff that I really don't care about. But just day-to-day emails, like, I don't delete them. Like, you got hella space, box wine.
Have you ever gone back to see how old your emails are? Like, they stay in your trash even though you delete them? Well, I got stuff in there from like 2010. 8. 05. It's stuff in there just in the trash in general. You have to search for it though.
I'll delete the trash, so it's not in my trash. Yeah. But I definitely got stuff from like 2010 and maybe before that. And it's funny because if I go back and look at something, like, I think maybe like 2 months ago or something, I was looking back, and I think it was like emails back from when we was doing songs and stuff like that, and just like comments that we had about it, and I'll be like, that's funny to look at now.
Dude, I read some old dating emails, like chicks I was talking to the wife, and I was like, yo, look how smooth this brother was. Check this out.
Hard knock STL at blackplanet.com.
Right.
We know what's
going on. Box wine. So if you get an email like from FTD or whatever, do you read it or do you make it so that it's cleared out, or no, you just leave it?
I don't touch that. Yeah, no, man. It's like sometimes I'll be sitting there, when it's busy at work, and I'll be seeing that little thing go off. The thing I really don't like about iPhone, maybe I need to play with this, is like when you get an alert, like there's an email on your iPhone, like you can press like clear, like if you, so I see it, it'll pop up, it'll say like FTD or whatever it is. But I'm like, I don't want it. But there's no option from like the home screen, the little to delete it. You can do clear or you can do view, but you can't like just right there delete. If they had that, or I could figure out how to add that, I would do that a lot more. Because I'll look at my phone whenever it like chimes, and it'll be something useless that I don't really care about. Like the school email me about like this is the PTAO meeting or whatever it is, and I was like, okay, delete. I want to delete it, but then I have to go into Gmail to do it. I'm like, I'm not going to spend 20 seconds to do that. So then I don't do that 15 times a day. And the next thing I know, my inbox is trash.
I know you ain't got notifications turned off for some emails. Y'all got to turn that off. You got a sound notification?
Yeah. I got a little sound. It just chimes or a little quiet thing. And I just look down and see, so it is important. People email important stuff through my personal email with the kids and all that stuff like that. So I leave it on. I'm not going to turn it off.
But yeah, that's how I am with in terms of like looking at, if I get an important email that I see, of course I'm going to read that. But if I get some type of distribution list, I'm not looking at that. And it's just going to stay unread until, like you said, every 9 months or for me, maybe year and a half, when I go back and decide, all right, let's do a little bit of cleaning.
Yeah.
And delete that stuff out.
Hey, Phenom, can I ask you a related question? Since you work for kind of like, well, I mean, you both work for big, fairly decent sized companies, but like, do y'all have like read receipts on your emails? Like, yeah, can y'all turn those options on?
I hate them.
Yo, man, look, I figured out
anybody
like,
using Outlook, you got the read receipts.
But years ago, I figured out like how to set it up where like you can like it'll alert you if somebody wants read receipts. And so and so when it pops up, it's like this person has selected a read receipt, and you deleted the message. Do you want to send them the red receipt? I always hell no.
Right? Nope.
But
nope.
I'm like,
mind your own business.
But I'm always like, what are you getting out of this? Why do you need to see me if I read this or not? And some people just put off on, but there's crazy people out there that put like on everything. They got on any email that sends out. They just got set to like. Can you imagine what their inbox looks like? Because they got the email they sent out.
Because they think the emails are not going through. Like, yo, the email goes through unless it's in your drafts.
But if you send an email to
your drafts,
I'm just choosing to like 50 dudes. Okay, I got
the
email. I'm choosing to ignore you. Leave me alone.
That's what I want to put the auto reply back. Yes, I got this is your read receipt. I didn't really read it. I just received it. But people are insane. I'm like, man, do you know how crazy your inbox will be? Like when I send off like a group meeting at work to like 100 people, and it's all like accepted declines. Man, it's like it destroys my inbox. So like in the next 10 minutes, immediately all the out offices and stuff like that. People crazy, man.
I do have one thing that I send out for OSHA reporting. That I send a read receipt because I'm sending it to everybody, and I need a read receipt because they'll say that I didn't do it or they didn't get it or something. So I just send it. But yeah, it's annoying when they keep coming in. But I got it set up also so all of these will go to a specific box and not ring me. So just some extra work, but you can do it.
Cool. Well, that's all I got. What about you, Box Wine? How's your weekend brownness?
Week was good. The weather was like kind of warm. I actually got to 80s. I had turned the AC on for the first time. But yeah, man, trying to do a little something out in I try to spend like a couple hours in the yard every week. So I trimmed some more shrubs and stuff today, and hung up my kids. We got a swing set. Ryan, you need to invest in this. You need some outdoor stuff. Get the kids out the house. So we got a swing. So I put a swing up last year, the little bucket joint for the kids. But now the boy's getting older, and he knows how to swing on the regular swing pretty much. So I got him the regular joint. So I put that up. And like, we've been talking about our handyman work. Have y'all ever put together your handyman stuff, and then afterwards you're like, I don't know if I really trust that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Because you know how trash you really are and how weak your skills are. So yeah, man. But I put it was hard. I had to do like the little socket wrench thing to get it up in there, whatever like that. So, but I was like, well, before I put the boy on there, I'm gonna test it out myself. So I got on there. It worked. But it's like that you have that like 5 seconds where you sit there swinging on this thing, and you're like, man, I really hope I put this in here right. I hope I did.
What's this giant boat left over?
Yeah,
I don't need that.
I had done all that. It was just attaching the mounts to it and stuff like that, and making sure in the wood. But it's still like you're hoping you don't didn't do it wrong or something like that, because you're like, okay, I'm about to bust my ass if I do this. But anyway, did that, man. And what else I do this week? Took the kids. Man, I don't know if y'all have this. Okay, y'all in the school system, whatever like that. Like around here, I've never seen this before ever in my life. All the schools around here, no matter what it is, high school, elementary, middle, whatever, they all got a big ass boulder out front of them. Tell me if y'all have seen this before. But every school has like a huge rock, like in the front of the school, like where like where your school sign, where would have the temperature, all that stuff like that. Huge rock, every school. And so, like, I guess for the high schools, like, if they have a big football game and they win, they'll put the stuff on there. They'll put like the score on there. And, we beat our rival, blah, blah. But a lot of times for most of schools, it's just like, oh, okay, this kid, and you can sign up, like there's a thing, and you can go in there and you'll put your, like, for your birthday. So it'll be like, Phenom, age 11, or whatever like that. Keith, You know what I'm talking about, age 50, age 6 or something. And then the parents will put whatever, maybe they'll put like a little ninja on there. I said ninja, or maybe they'll put on like, whatever, trains, whatever it is, right? So they do that. So went to the playground, not my school, but the other school nearby, just to let the kids try a different playground, just to kick it. It was weather's nice. Had a rock out there, and so I had this kid's name out there. It was like birthday, but the kid's name was Bruce. And I drove by and I thought, man, you don't hear no Bruces no more. Like that's good, man.
None under the age of 60.
Right. So in my head, but I was like, man, nobody's named Bruce no more. I was like, that's the first time I've heard of Bruce under the age of 60 in my adult life. But it just got me thinking, like, man, what happened to like old, like how do names just fall out of favor like that? You know what I'm saying? Like Bruce seems cool to me. It doesn't seem like a bad name or like that, but like what happened to it? Just like how do they names just go in and out? And I just didn't understand. Like, do y'all have some thoughts on that? And what old names do y'all want to see come back? Y'all got any names y'all want to see? You want to see some Gertrudes out there? You want to see some Mildreds out there in the streets?
It's some names out there, man. I know we use it a lot for white women who call the manager, but Karen. Do you know this? I don't know any like little kids named Karen. There's no little girls named Karen.
Karen Steffens. You know what I'm talking about.
Her name's Corinne.
Whatever. She's a Karen.
Yeah, but it's still. I think some names, I don't know what they are, man. It's a lot of names that are just not for kids. They're just for grown-ups.
Like what happened to Peter? What happened to Peters, man? Where's the kid named Peter nowadays, man? I don't even know I never knew a kid named Peter growing up, but I need that. Come on, man.
Man, they're cyclical like anything else. That stuff kind of goes out of style, then comes back because now you start to see. Like Ethan is a real popular name. You see a lot of Ethans. Yeah. Back when we were in high school, you take
the lunch money was my name Ethan. You rob somebody named Ethan, man.
Right. Ethan was like an old school, 1950 or not even 50. That was like a 1932 name, but now it's back and it's hot in these streets. So I think I was listening to another podcast. They were talking about a kid named Clyde, and they're like, "How you name your son Clyde in 2021?" Like,
you gotta call him the Clyde.
The Clydes are old heads, Yeah. But so I think you'll start to see that stuff, kind of come back around. So if Karen is out of style, or Clyde, or Walt, in about 20, 30 years, people gonna think that stuff is cool, and you're gonna see him pop back up.
All you future mothers out there, if there's anybody, name your kid Rufus. Let's bring some Rufuses back in the building. Come on.
Hey, I always like the name Sterling. My wife is like, that's an old man name. You can't name no kid Sterling.
My cousin's pops' names is Sterling.
You say what?
One of my cousins' pops' names is Sterling.
Look, man, if you name your kid Sterling, they come out with the members only jacket. They come out the womb with that joint, some New Balances on.
I don't know. One name you would probably never see again. Rosalind. It's probably one of those names you'll never see again.
You'll see some Roses again.
Ethel. Never coming back with an Ethel.
I bet Ethel's coming back.
Ethel's fire, man.
Never.
But we got to stop it because look, Phenom, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Look, man, all these little kids, it's all. It ends with N or Lee. It's like Kaylin, Jordan, Jalen.
Yeah, that's what's hot right now.
Kaisley, Ainsley, Painsley, Dainsley. Man, if you don't get that trash out of here, man, we need some real names out here. We need some hard, we need some Rufuses. We need some Lamonts. We need some.
Well, did we ever talk about the coldest? High school dude, the coldest.
I think so.
Yeah, he signed with LSU. So the dude, the coldest to ever do it. His middle name is to ever do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fire.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
Ryan, what about you?
That's it, man. I had nothing. Just observations.
All right. So this weekend, since I have been getting ready to go back to work tomorrow in person and all that, so I've been reflecting on my time that I've had with my children and watching them grow up over the past year, realizing how much they got on my nerves and also realizing how much I don't want to drive to work every day. That's crazy. And it seems like such a waste of time now when you think about it. Like
it really
all
is.
This extra time that I've had to play the game and all this other stuff I've been doing, It's because I don't drive to work. Like, once I start driving to work, I'm not going to be able to do any of that stuff anymore.
You can be tired. Yeah,
man. Good thing is I am able to work from home the last couple hours of the day because I got to get the kids off the bus. So or get them from school because there's no way anybody can do it otherwise. So they help me.
So you're gonna go in the morning and you're gonna come back home in the after like midday and pick up the kids.
It ain't midday, but like 3.
What, 1?
Leave,
okay.
So I can make sure I get back in time for them to get them out of school and then come on home.
And then do like what? Finish up an hour work at the house.
Gotcha. Yeah, finish up whatever I got to do.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure I'll probably be working till 6 anyway. Yeah. But yes. So yeah, man, it's a mixed bag. One day I'm gonna give y'all things I miss about the apocalypse. we'll have a segment like that because I realized that I am the only dude who is like, man, I don't even wish COVID would stay because I like not doing nothing and having to go anywhere. I don't want to die to go to the store or nothing. I don't want nobody to die. But other than that, it's been great. Best time of my life. I'm the only person like, 2020, best time of my life.
2020 was lit, fam.
Yeah. Nobody asked me to do nothing. I just had mad money coming in every few months.
You ain't had to go to nobody's house. Nobody wanted to come over your house.
Right. Nobody asked me to do nothing. Chilling. Oh, I didn't have to dress up. Oh, man, it was perfect. So that's the main thing. So with that, getting ready for work, I had to go outside because I'm like, all right, man, I got to start driving a minivan again. Don't want to take the van. Don't want to take my car.
Ain't put no oil in that car in 9 months.
Nah, and I need to. And I also needed to get some tires on the front of that mug before COVID hit, and I just never went. So still need to do that. No. But so that made me go outside. I messed with it again. Remember I told y'all I got the little jumper box or whatever. Tried to jump it, and I'm like, all right, this battery is completely dead. Bought a new one, so worked fine. Me and Trenton ran out to go try to get some tires. So I went to this place called Cheapies over here.
What's it called?
Cheapies. It's called Cheapies. Same place I always go when I want some cheap tires because, I get some cheap tires and get it quick and be done, right? Especially because I don't plan on keeping this van too much longer. Like, it's finna be up out of here. As soon as I figure out what kind of car I want, like, it's gone. And I don't want to put no money into it at all. I was mad that I had to pay $180 for a dang on battery. Why is battery so expensive?
Fam, you didn't have to tell us that part. Once you said you went to Cheapies, that was all that was understood. We know that.
Hey, well. And so the problem with Cheapies is I ain't been there in a year, but I pull up. They got a new little system where they actually make you get in the line now, so that's cool. And old girl comes up to my window. She ain't got no mask on. Of course, she's outside. She's trying to talk, and I'm like, yo, kind of close, even though I got my mask on. Hey, just step back. I want the stiff on. Just hit her with it. Be like,
give her the Heisman. Yeah.
Man, keep in mind, I think this chick might have been 30 years old. I doubt. No older than 32. She sweetied and babied me to death. I'm going to be like, yo, you ain't old enough to be calling me no sweetie or no baby. Like, get out of here with that. That's trash. And what's up with young people with the sweeties and the babies? We got to stop. I don't like it.
I'm cool with it.
So
right.
She tells me
she was trying to hit something.
Nah, fam. So we sitting there. They said she was like, yeah, it's gonna be an hour and a half. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm sitting there, and the second she said that, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, I gotta pee right now. So I knew this was gonna come up. This is foreshadowing for you. So we sit there. An hour passes. Hour and a half passes. And she finally directs us to a little parking spot where we're supposed to go. But the whole time I was sitting there, I was looking over. I saw this Indian man. And I'm like, yo, look at this dude. And I told Trenton's too young. He probably don't understand what I'm saying. He has no reference for this. But I was like, yo, look at this Indian man right here. He looks like he has never worked a day in his life, but he's out here changing tires. I was like, why would they hire him? He's going to get fired. Look how slow he's moving. He's got loafers on. He's got his jeans. He's got a little tight roll at the bottom. He got a sweater on. He's got a button up coming out the top. And I'm like, yo, it must be hard times out here for some of these people with the COVID. Like, maybe he lost his job. He was like a software tech. And he like, yo, I got to get a job. I'm going to Cheapies. And I can just put tires on. He had no idea what he was doing, Phenom. He was going slow, man. He's working on a Mercedes too. And I was like, man, like, how far the mighty have fallen. I was like, man, that's rough, man. Thank God. And I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I'm in the position I'm in. I'm cool. And as I watched this dude, we pulled into the parking space and I looked over and I'm like, man, did that dude just get up in the car? Like he jacked it up on 2 wheels, so it's leaning over to the side. Jack's still under it. He just hops in and he's sitting there and he closes the door. I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, this must be this dude's car. So it's like, yo, so he was just like, yo, my car is so fly. I'm not even going to let y'all brokies touch my rims or my lugs. I'm putting them in my pockets so you don't steal them because they worth $20 a piece when you got a Mercedes or something, right? And I'm like, wow, man, like, that's crazy. So
he put his he put his own tires on the rim?
He took his own tires off.
How?
He took them off.
He like a special tool.
He had the drill. He put it on. Zit, zit, zit. He did the whole joint. I sat there and watched him do it.
You can take the. I know you can take the lug nuts off and take the tire off the whole, but you can't take the separate.
He's not taking the tire off the wheel. No.
Okay,
he just had to take them off to give them to the dude.
Okay.
He just took them off and sat them on the ground. That's why I thought he was working there. He's not working there. So I watched him the whole time, and now he starts walking back and forth. And at this point, I'm like, remember I foreshadowed that I had to go to the bathroom. It had been like I feel like we were sitting there another 45 minutes. And I'm like, yo, is that Indian dude still down there? I was like, because I haven't seen a Mercedes pull behind me because he would have been 2 cars down. I get out my car. I look down. That dude is still standing there. Now he looks angry. He's got his arms crossed. And I look down further. There's more people who got pulled in before me that are still sitting there. Dude, at this point, my bladder is at red alert. I have never felt this type of red alert from my bladder. And I'm like, yo, I need to go to the bathroom so bad. What is wrong with me? And I'm like, all right, just chill. This is just the body's warning system. They gives you a couple and you got time, you'll be fine. Because I'm like, I ain't never seen a bathroom around here. I ain't seen nobody ask to go to the bathroom. I done been here like 20 times. I done been inside 20 times because you got to go swipe your card. I ain't seen no bathroom. And if it is a bathroom, I don't want to use it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Cheapies ain't the bathroom. That don't sound like a place with a
Nah, it's not.
nice bathroom.
I'm looking at Trenton, and he's just like, "Oh, you'll be okay, Daddy. You can just hold it." And I was like, and at this point, my mind is starting to really, I can't get it off my mind. And I'm like, man, I see a cup over there on that counter. Like, maybe I can get that cup. I have to pee in this cup, because otherwise I'm going to have to run in the back. I'm like, man, I'm going to have to run back behind the building. It's like, if I got to go pee behind the building, I might get a charge. I might be on a child sex offender list because I peed in public. I'm thinking all of this down the line. I'm like, man, I can't go out like that. Keep in mind, I've already invested 2 hours of some of my time, but there's no end in sight. It looks like this could take another hour. And I'm like, I'm leaving.
You had no,
so
you had
I
no,
left.
no bottle
I left. No, I left. And
there wasn't no businesses nearby.
Dude, I'm in Alton. I don't get out the car over there. I don't feel comfortable right there on that little spot. It seemed like none of all the white people are meth heads, and they don't want black people there. They just got that feel. I don't like going to Cheapies, but that's the cheapest place to get your tires.
Oh, so that's the place across the river, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that place is
sped home, man. Sped home. I never realized how long Lindbergh is from 367 over there coming up to my house. Yo, I felt like it was 50 miles long. It was taking. I'm gunning it. I'm driving crazy as a mug. I'm swerving around people. Then I finally get to the last turn, and I'm like, man, the light turned red, and I'm like, I'm going, and I just ran the light, man. It's how bad I had to go. I'm speed. Just like, I'm like, yeah. I was like, I might pee on myself right now. Like, that's how bad it is. I can't hold it no more. Dude, I'm feeling pains that I ain't never felt before in parts of my nether regions I haven't felt before. And I was just trying, like, think about something else. I'm talking to myself. Trent's like, Daddy, it's going to be okay. Daddy, it's going to be okay. And he was like, oh, Daddy, if you pee on yourself, like, what's Mommy going to say? Like, I don't know what she going to say. I'm hoping I don't.
His respect for you was just ready to drop at any second.
We got a divorce off me peeing on myself. Dude, I screeched into the driveway finally when I get home. Slammed the brakes. I hopped out. Trenton, I don't even know what he did. I was just like, yo, come on. I didn't even bother pressing the garage button because I thought it would be too slow. Like, I ran around to the patio. My hands shaking, trying to get the keys in. Like, this is like Paul when he was on that NyQuil. I can't get the key in the door.
Hey, that's payback. That's payback right there.
Yo, at this point, you start to feel a couple of drips. I'm like, oh no, like I can't go out like that. I can't go out like that. Sprinted. I ain't ran that fast since I was in high school trying to play tight end. When I ran a 40-yard dash, trying to make the time for Coach Russell so he'll let me play with the tight ends, man. I got there barely made it. I never want to do that again.
It felt good though.
Actually, it did not feel good. It was painful because I had been holding it for so long. Dude, I ain't never felt nothing like that before. When I was done, I felt like I still had to go. Yo, I don't know what I did, but I'll never do that again.
Man, why did you hold it, man? You were just sitting in line. Why didn't you just go to Cheapies? It's a number one situation, man. You stand way back, like 5 feet away, just pee all the floor. Nobody care.
You know, on your way home, you pass many bushes and vacant lots and trees.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I don't want to catch no sex offender charge because they'll do that to me because I'm black. And I'm not going out like that. Man, we got to move away from the school. Like I'm screwed.
If you buy a school or even a building, maybe it's unlikely. But I'm just talking about the houses you pass.
Gas station, a gas station,
abandoned mall over there. You could have
that's the only thing. And I thought about that too. And I was just like.
They got like horse stables over there. I'd have been up behind one of them.
I was like, man, maybe I could make it. Every time I was like, I'm going to stop. The only real place would have been that gas station right there. So I was like, I could stop at this on the run, maybe. And now it's like, you got to go ask them. They probably got to say something. Oh, is there somebody in there? It's only one. I was just like, I'm just going to go because I'm right by the house.
I would just gone cheat. I would just gone wherever you was waiting in line at. I was like, hey, I'm a customer here. They got to have a restroom. I mean, they got to. It's definitely a restroom in the place. That was your mistake, but
but they don't always let people. The public. Some places say no public restrooms, but I'd have been around the back of Cheapies on the wall or something.
Right. So that was pretty much my week, man. It was pretty rough. So it ends with me almost peeing on myself. But other than that, got a chance to get out the house and accomplish nothing.
So you can do your how long is your commute tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm hoping 40 minutes because there shouldn't be nobody out.
Man, so that's 2 hours. Man, that's crazy. It's 2 hours
out.
a day.
I mean, traffic is almost back to normal levels now.
Not looking forward to it then. So we'll see.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That's an extra 10 hours a week minimum, man. That's crazy.
Sadly. All right. So let's get into these stories.
Yeah, that was we like an hour in already.
Let's get it.
Yep. Our condolences to the people who were gunned down in both the Colorado shooting and Atlanta shooting at the massage parlors over this past week. I don't know. What else can we say? I'm tired of saying the same cliches over people shooting people. This time, I guess the main focus of this one was that the Colorado shooting, the shooter was Muslim American. Syrian, okay. And then the ATL shooter, he was white, and he gunned down Asian massage parlors because he said that they were I guess sexually arousing him, and he didn't want the temptation anymore, so he decides to kill everybody. So he's an idiot. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I thought it was interesting. I'm gonna get my 2 cents out in the beginning. The fact that they were like, "Is this a hate crime?" and they just asked him, "Sir, was this a hate crime?" and he's like, "Well, no." Like, does that come with more years or more punishment? And they were like, yeah. And he's like, no, it was not a hate crime. And they were like, okay, nothing to see here. Like, he said it's not a hate crime. And they just let it go. So, Phenom, you kind of smirked at that. So that's kind of how they get treated out here, man. I guess when you white delegation, it's cool.
Yeah, and it's been funny to see, like, the, right-wing social media has, like, taken that as gospel. It was like, no, anytime somebody say it's a hate crime or, people say stop Asian hate, they're like, what are you talking about? They already said it's not a hate crime. Right. Like, okay, like that. We just take his word for it. That's how that works. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and the fact that again, when people kind of stand up and say stop Asian hate, it's just like backlash against it. Like no, that there's no Asian hate. What are you talking about? He's just randomly killing Asian people. It wasn't because they were Asian, and so
randomly killed only Asian people.
Right, but just sad either way, and we kind of go through the same steps, thoughts and prayers, and even got the folks that bring guns into the Capitol and all that, sending out thoughts and prayers. Like, that's not enough. At some point, you got to do something. But I'm not optimistic about anything changing on that.
Are you ready to outlaw assault weapons yet?
Oh, me? Yeah.
No, I mean Phenom.
I think you can. Yeah, I think you got to do something. Like I've even said, maybe even if you outlaw, because handguns are used more than assault weapons. So it's almost like, just leave the big guns legal. Like, take away the handguns, the ones that you can hide and conceal. Like, if you're gonna be a mass shooter or you're gonna do a lot of damage, like, you're gonna have to walk down the street with that big old gun, for people to see. At least then you can see it coming more so. Right. But now you got to do something, man. Like, you can't just let it go unregulated, or just everybody fend for themselves, because that's just not working.
Right.
So,
what you think, Box Wine? Snipers only?
Man. Yeah. I mean, feel the same way. First of all, condolences to everybody. My thing is like, man, it seemed like, honestly, when the pandemic kind of started and it was kind of how scary it was, and stuff like that, I thought we'd have some more of that. Like, people just kind of going insane and stuff like that. And we didn't really have that for the year. And then it's just kind of weird how, like, I'm not saying there weren't none. I'm sure there were some, but I don't really recall none over the pandemic. But then we had these two, like, right back to back, man. So, like, right when people are starting to, seem like, kind of get over it. I don't know what it, so I don't know what it is, man. But it's just crazy, man. You can just go, just go to a grocery store, just buy some, going to go pick up some food, for some snacks for your family, and then, man, you just get gunned down, man. It's a crazy world we live in, man. So, the guns and stuff. Yeah, I mean, am I optimistic about anything? No, not really. Just how it's been going in this country for a long, long time, and I don't know if we can ever change it, but yeah, man, something's got to give. Somebody's got to do something, man. But
now, did y'all see the story in Atlanta where a mass shooting may have been prevented? I don't know for sure, but it was a dude at a grocery store. So this dude, I think he was with whatever, Shipt or what's the other one that you use, Ryan? The grocery delivery.
Oh, DoorDash? No, I'm tripping. Instacart.
Yeah, maybe Instacart or Shipt or one of those companies. He was a shopper. Okay. And he went into the bathroom at the grocery store and said he heard some clicking that sounded like somebody loading a gun. And I guess he kind of looked in the stall or under the stall and saw like a, assault weapon in there. And so he went and told the store staff. They called the police. So the store cleared everybody out. And then when the police got there, the police officer was going to the bathroom and the guy was walking out the bathroom right then. And so they, pointed the guns at him, made him get down. But the dude ended up having like 6 guns,
wow.
Hella ammo. And this actually was black delegation, I believe. And, but, they think that this dude, the guy who found him was black, and I think the potential shooter was black. But they think he prevented a mass shooting, just because he was in the bathroom. He heard that, he saw that, and, luckily nobody got hurt and nothing ended up happening.
Lucky that dude was trash at loading his weapons, man. You have time to go out, get somebody, come back again, get the cops, for the cops to arrive and all this kind of stuff, man. You probably needed to wrestle that dude down yourself. But, okay. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, wow. So that was like the next day after those other shootings or whatever. So it's kind of crazy.
Wow. So I don't know, man. I guess we always gonna be crazy, man. We just got to figure out a way for us not to kill each other so easily. Said, go back to swords. I take my chances. We just be out there with a sword. You got to
Right.
think twice about that, bro. Do you want your arm chopped off? I doubt it. So let's
To the Badlands.
let's
I'm
talk it
for
out.
it.
Right. Let's just talk it out, man. Hands or swords. All right. So let's see. Again, condolences to everybody involved, man. Stop the Asian hate. I know it was way more than the coronavirus. People been hating Asians for a long time. The racist people been racist. They didn't just become racist once we got coronavirus. So they're just trying to.
It didn't help. It did not help
reason.
though. I guarantee it didn't help.
Yeah, it's just trying to find another reason to hate on.
Yeah.
All right. So next story.
Keep going! Keep going!
Phenom, this you.
Yep. So, next story also is, well, maybe not Atlanta, but Georgia based. And of course we know that, Georgia kind of tilted the country, when they elected the two Democratic senators, Raphael Warnock and, I don't forgot that dude's name already. What's the other guy?
The bishop. The preacher.
No, that's Warnock.
Ishoff is
Yeah. That dude. That dude. But and so, that really set Georgia, the conservatives went crazy over that, because that was the first time in a while that the Democrats, hold the House and the Senate in the U.S. government. And I think it was the first time, a black senator was elected in Georgia. But anyway, so all this backlash, of course, we saw when Barack Obama became president immediately after him, we got Donald Trump. So it's like whenever you get black progress, it seems like there's always kind of white backlash afterwards. And so after these two folks were elected, Georgia's just been cracking down on voting rights. And so they just passed this crazy bill. A lot of people compare it to Jim Crow, where they make it, they shut down a lot of voting places. They're really cracking down on being able to turn in ballots. A lot of places had ballot drop boxes this year. We were in COVID. A lot of people were voting remotely. They're taking away a lot of those remote ballot locations. They're ending Sunday voting, which is really seen as a direct attempt to disenfranchise black people, because a lot of black churches would take their people, put them on a bus on a Sunday, take them to the early voting places. And so just passing all these laws to restrict voting. And then kind of to top it off, there was I believe a state senator or state rep in Georgia that was protesting, or she was knocking on the governor's door when he was signing the bill. And they dragged her out, and arrested her just for knocking on his door. And so just wanted to know what y'all thought about these restrictions on voting rights. And it's clearly aimed at restricting the black vote. They're not even trying to hide it. It's clear, it's evident, it's out in the open. And just wondering what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, man. It sounds crazy. That's not really. Phenom, you laid it out pretty well, but that's not even really the half of what they did. There's a provision in there they're not allowed to. You're not allowed to give anybody standing in a voter line food or water. So and you saw how some of those Georgia voting lines were. Man, people were out there for 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever hours to go vote. But you can't even give them no water. You can't give them a sandwich. You can't give them nothing. That's just it's not like.
Because they claim that people are basically campaigning while they're bringing the water and the food, I guess.
It's just insane, man. So that. But then on top of that, they basically, they had that dude, Brad Raffensperger, the dude that was Trump was trying to get to influence the election and stuff like that. And the dude was no, none of this stuff you're saying happened. This, we're gonna do the recount, but it doesn't look like you won. They basically took all the power away from that dude. That dude has that. So they basically, that dude's DOA. He's mud. All that dude did was his job. And he ran afoul of the person that's in charge of his party. And so that dude is just total mud in there. Yeah. And so he's probably not gonna get reelected, but he doesn't have no power now. And so now, the
Not
politicians,
over the election at least.
the local election boards really have no power. The politicians can put whoever they want on the election boards, so they can So like basically, if 2020 were to happen in Georgia next time, and it was close or like that, and didn't go the way they want, they can just overturn. They can pretty much just overturn it the way they want. I'm guessing. I mean, it seems like that's the way it's going to go. And this is just the first state. It's going to be a bunch of states. I mean, it's like every state in the South is doing that, man. Any state with a significant black population, or where they thought it didn't go the way they wanted to, they're doing the same thing, man. North Carolina, Texas, I'm sure, Arizona, I'm sure, so I mean, it's going to be a lot of this, man. But for every action is an equal and opposite reaction. So, man, I don't know. People are just going to have to, go vote earlier, go stay in lines. But yeah, man, it's going to be like this for a little while. Unfortunately, I definitely don't think it's fair. It's really disheartening, man. But
Right.
It's trash and it's underhanded. I don't like how now the shadiness can be so overt and like we're not even trying to hide it anymore. Just like, oh, okay, oh, y'all won down here. Okay, we'll just change the voting laws. And they do that after every election that's not won. And I don't know. I guess they just on a by any means necessary at this point. But to a certain extent, like, y'all, you can't win like that. You don't think that anything you're doing is not going to last anyway when you're out here doing shady stuff like that. But we, on the opposite end of the spectrum, have to then come out in droves and say, all right, well, since y'all you want to play like that, we'll make sure that we stay strong and keep voting the way we voted this past election. I mean,
but how, the tough part is, how do you come out in droves? Because you come out in droves, there's long lines. Yeah. Like your story, you got to pee. Well, what happened?
You got to pee, you in trouble.
You got to leave line. You can't get no food. You can't get no water. Now you need a photo ID to vote by mail, which is crazy. And so,
ID, man, I'm sorry. That's one thing I'm never going to agree with. Just get your ID. It's not hard. It's really not.
I don't know. I think generally speaking, yes, but that does harm like black folks more, especially like older black folks. And
is
those
it
are
because
people
we
more
won't go
likely
get
to
an
vote.
ID? Because if you're just not doing what you're supposed to do and get your ID, man, then...
Well, it's not that people won't, but there's certain people that it's difficult, because also while they push and say, all right, you need a voter ID or you need a photo ID to vote, they also make it harder to get a photo ID. Like some people, if you were born, whatever, in the 1930s, 40s, you may not have that original birth certificate, and they'll make it harder for you to get a copy of your birth certificate if you don't have the original. So it's like undermine stuff like that, where it's not like the simple idea of having a photo ID. Like, I'm not against that, but it's just like you have to make it easy for people to be able to go do that. You can't say you need this photo ID and then make it hard for people to get it.
Well, I mean, it's identification, so it can't be easy, because then I could just go, I could be Boxman Poppy tomorrow. And so we don't want that. So there has to be some kind of standard, unfortunately. I mean, I don't want to change the argument, but I mean, certain things, there has to be a bottom floor standard. Like, you have to get this, you have to have an ID in order to vote. And if that's the case, that's fine. But
let me ask you this. I mean,
other crazy stuff.
Okay, but really, like, there weren't good IDs, photo IDs on people until like just the last 20 years. I mean, it hadn't been like when we were little kids. Like that was all, like a driver's license when we were little kids. It was just paper, man, with a name on it, no picture on it. Probably it probably went to the mid 80s that it started. So like, I mean, we did 250 years worth of elections and just fine. You didn't have to have all this like documentation or whatever like that. So I mean, do I disagree that you should? But I do feel my heart goes out to some people that, because there are going to be certain segments of the society where for whatever reason they just don't keep up with that stuff. I mean, and like Phenom's talking about the older people. I mean, yeah, if you're not driving, if you're an old lady, you're 90-some years old, you probably haven't driven in 70 years. What do you need a license for? So what do you have an active license for? You probably haven't kept up with it. So if you go in, they tell you go to voting and you've been voting all your life, and then you go up there and they say, well, you got to have a valid driver's license, and you haven't driven in 20 years, you probably don't have that, right? So, and what you gonna do? You gonna go to the DMV and do all this stuff like that? I mean, the state needs to do a better job of taking care of that, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna do that. So I mean,
right. And then
that's the issue.
They closed the DMVs in the hood, so there's only one. So now, if I'm an hourly employee and I have to go and wait 5 or 6 hours to get a license, I can't do that. You know, that's costing me money. So that's what I'm saying. If you want, I'm fine with you saying there has to be this photo ID requirement, but you have to make it more accessible for people to get it. And you have to make sure it's affordable. And you have to make sure people can get it. Now, you can, have your standards that they need to meet. But just like this voting stuff, they're making it hard for you to get. Like, none of this stuff is coincidence. This is all kind of planned out. Like, okay, we're going to make them have a photo ID, but we're going to make it hard for them to go to photo ID because the end goal is to have less black people vote.
Yeah, the thing,
less poor people vote.
A similar thing that they do black people, but they know younger kids tend to vote Democrat. So COVID kind of bit them because in a lot of states, what they had done over the years was, okay, well, voting's in like November. Well, kids are in college, but they put in like rules. A lot of states put in rules like if you were voting, if you were a college age student, you voted, you used to be able to vote like on your campus, but then states said no, you got to go back to your parents' residence and vote. And you got to be present to do that, and so they did that. But then COVID happened, and then so all those kids were at home anyway. So they put all these rules into place to try to screw them, expecting they would be in school in November 2020. But then it backfired on because then most kids were at home with COVID, so they could vote in their parents' district, and it wasn't no problem. But they put those rules in there because they knew, okay, all these college kids vote Democrat. It'll be November. They're gonna have to sit there and stop in the middle of a semester where they're probably getting ready for finals, and then drive back to their parents wherever they're from. That might be an hour away. Some might be 5-6 hours. People ain't gonna want to do that if it's a long haul. And then vote. Stay there till a Tuesday or whatever it is. Vote and then drive back to school. They're not gonna do that. So they put those rules in place for a reason. And so, that's the they keep it's just that, man, just let everybody vote, man. Just come on,
vote, man.
In 2020,
absentee vote, just keep it the way it was. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. More people voted. It was still split down the middle, so it's not like one side or the other was more disenfranchised by doing the vote that way. Just make sure it's easier for everybody to vote. And it wasn't easy to vote then either. We still had to do quite a bit to get those absentees in.
But my thing is, but with everything in politics, it's a reaction. So Biden won. This is all a reaction to Biden winning. What they're doing right now, I think there's going to be an opposite reaction to that. And so, I don't know. Georgia, other states, they're going to do what they want to do, but I think they should be smart about it because anybody that's just even irrational, just approaching it rationally, says how can this be? Some of the stuff is just totally unnecessary. Okay, you want to talk about the IDs? Okay, I get you. You want to talk about, we're going to just maybe the Sunday voting, but is that a big deal if people want to vote? Who's caring about that? If they vote, they vote. And, if they go to church, what are you worried about? If you can't win on your win and without doing all these little gimmicks, then maybe you're doing something wrong. So,
but that's the way it's been for a long time. Is When there's heavy turnout, usually that's better for Democrats. So when more people vote, that's usually better for Democrats. And so that's why we've seen, over the years, the right has been more about restricting the vote, whether that's through gerrymandering, whether that's through shutting down polling places. They want the people who don't support them to not be able to vote.
Well, as long as all of us have been alive, the Republicans have only won 2 popular votes. That's it. 2 popular. As long as all 3 of us have been alive, 2 Reagan in 84, and then Bush after the war when his support was real high. That's only 2 times. It really just one because of Bush. That was all a lie, man. We got he was riding off that war and all patriotism and all that stuff like that. But he didn't deserve it. So, but that's it, man. So, they never win the popular vote. They don't have, so they need these little things to get them in office. It's crazy. Anyway,
keep going. Keep going.
Right.
That's right.
let's get into some funny topics. How much would you
Yeah.
charge to get slapped in your face for a rap video? Paul,
Yeah,
I know
man,
this is how you make extra cash on the side, right?
I'll take $500 right now, man. I didn't get much stimulus, man, so I could use a little stimulus right now. So if, maybe I can make a little $500. And this actually happened in my city here in Charlotte. The rapper Boosie was in town to do a video with DaBaby for their single called Period. So he was in town with the rap video, and they needed, in the video, they were in a convenience store. They needed to find a dude that wanted to talk flagrant to Boosie, and then Boosie offered the dude $554, although it just rounded down to $500, but it was $554 to get slapped in the face for the video.
Is that to cover the PayPal?
And so they
fees?
found some drunk. There was some old drunk dude, I guess somewhere in Charlotte, and they decided, he said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And so he did it. He got slapped in the face in the video. He probably bought a bunch of malt liquor and Hennessy with it. But I'm just asking. I'm just curious. What everybody man has a price. We know this. What would it cost for you to take a slap in the face on a rap video from Lil Boosie? Phenom, I'm gonna go to you because I know you're gonna have the most outrageous answer of all.
Not really. I mean, if it's a rap video, I don't know what the price is. I mean, I might have did it for the 500. Like, if it's one take, hey, you gonna buy me a PS5 or an Xbox? Like, I might do it for that. Just like, hey, let me slap you once. And it really depends on the rapper. You know what I'm saying? Because if we talking about Boosie, it may be a little more expensive. It may be $1 or $2 grand. If we talking about, Meg or Cardi, I might do that for $25. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. But, yeah, I don't know. What about you, Ryan?
Well, I mean, I would like to have seen the negotiations on this. I wonder did Boosie come in low? Did he come in like the Pawn Stars? And he was just like, "Yo, I'll give you 20. Dude was like, $20, man. Get out of here with that. Like, man, it got to at least be 500. And he's like, 500? All right, let me call somebody and see what I can come up with. And then he came back, said 500. He's like, I changed my mind. I think it should be more. And he said 554. And when he said that 4, he was like, "Oh, you got a deal." He's like, "All right."
Like, first of all, where did the man get? Like, okay, Boosie, I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's got $100 bills in his pocket. Where'd you come with the 54 at? Like, how much you had
all the money
dollars on him?
He just bought a tall can. Yeah. That was part of the change.
He had 550.
Gotcha.
And then he walked in. He bought some. He got some change because Skrilla. They got to have $500 in your pocket at all times. And he was just like, "Yo, he really had some change." But dude was like, "Man, don't give me them nickels." And he was like, "All right, man, cool. 554. That's what I got." So, Chris Bosh in the back, he looking mad with the red shirt on, like, "Yo, I could have took that 500, but I ain't take it." So, hey, I think $500 is probably I'm gonna think about this.
The going rate.
Yeah, I think I might just do it for 500 because he's like, "Yeah, that's a nice amount of money." All right.
Yeah, and Boosie
Let me
ain't
take
a
my
big
glasses
dude,
off first, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was like The Rock or something, then you may need a little more, a big guy, Suge Knight, you're going to have to pay me a little bit more. But Boosie, I think, is fairly little guy or regular size.
Any rapper that starts with their name starts with little, you go ahead. You $500, you got it. I'm not worried about you.
Yep, I got no problem with it.
Right, even the baby, oh yeah, go ahead. You're like, not worried about that.
I don't know.
All right, you want to go to the next one?
Got them gun charges.
Yeah, no. All right, this was the wildest topic to me of the week. So this dude, let me find his name. Give me a second here. Georgia, man, always Georgia. Georgia's become.
They took over from Florida.
Georgia become Florida. Yeah. So my man, this dude from Georgia, he worked at like an automotive shop. I guess it wasn't Cheapies, but something equivalent to that. And he quit in November of last year. And he had a dispute with his boss that he'd been working for 8 years, had a dispute, called it toxic work conditions, and blah, blah, blah. So he quit in November, gave a 2 weeks notice, wrote a written letter, blah, blah, and so then the boss promised him his final $915. He would pay him that by January. So, again, he quit in November, But the boss said, okay, well, you got your 2 week notice in. I'll have that money to you, $915 in January. January comes, never gets the money. February comes, never gets the money. Finally, here in March, he goes out to his driveway to go check the mail or something like that, and looks out the end of his driveway, and there's a big pile of something out there. He thinks it's like dirt or something like that. Turns out it's $915 in pennies. Greasy, oily pennies.
What kind of oil?
In his driveway. And look, this is the kicker. With a note on top, with his final pay stub and a letter that said, with an explicit message that said, F you. I'm not going to say it here because Ryan's going to bleep me, but I will tell it in the Patreon account. But yeah, he said, F you. That was the letter just sitting on top of the pennies, man. And I got to know, man. Do y'all mess with this level of pettiness from the boss? What do y'all think?
Yo, I would find somebody that's willing to take the 500 to smack the hell out of him. Like, this is I don't know what that dude did, but it's laws. It's laws against when you quit. They supposed to really cut you a check, like right then and there. Like, I don't know why it took so long. He need to. Hopefully, a lawyer gonna definitely contact him because he better get a couple more dollars out of this dude. Maybe double his money. But yo, don't play with me, man. Like, this is why people get shot. I'm not promoting that anybody should shoot somebody, but if there's a reason to shoot somebody, this is a good reason. What you think, Fino?
And I'll sue him because I'll be like, look, you done messed up my driveway. I done got all this oil in my driveway. You about to fix that. Like, that 500 about to turn into, 5, 10, 15,000 on the strength of you being an idiot. And I'd have been like, what pennies? I would have collected them mugs, took them to the bank and be like, I ain't get nothing. What are you talking about? I didn't get a receipt.
Actually, you're never supposed to pay nobody cash because you ain't got no trail. So they could just be like, I ain't never get it.
Exactly. And I definitely would have been that. But, I mean, it's hella petty. I've actually been, not to this level, but I had a former employer that tried to, string out my last paycheck, like, for the last moment. And it really was because, I don't know, like, at that job, I kind of got into it with, like, the big boss. Not even got into it, but it was stupid, the whole thing, because I had a doctor's appointment. I don't know if I talked about this on the pod or not. No. I had a doctor's appointment. Scheduled in advance. I got it. My boss signed off on it. The head boss had signed off on it. All of that. Scheduled in advance. The day of the appointment, like the big boss was like, no, I got a presentation. I need you to set it up for me. And I was like, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. I was like, I got to go to this. If I cancel it, I don't know when I'm be able to get back in. And she was like, well, you can't take off because I have a presentation and you set up my presentations because I kind of set up the AV stuff on it. And I was like, yo, you signed my off sheet. My boss signed the off sheet. I turned it in like 3 weeks ago when I set the appointment. What's the deal? And so, long story short, she was like, well, you can't go. Unless you're on your deathbed, you can't go. And I was like, dude, whatever. And I went. I wrote like a little memo saying, hey, I'm sorry you don't want me to go to my appointment. This is a health matter. I'm not a medical expert to know whether it's life or death, so I'm going to make sure I take care of my health. I came back the next day. Everything was cool. Then that Friday, that was like a Monday or Tuesday. Then that Friday, at the end of the day, she was walking by and she's like, oh, you need to go see the HR person. And I was like, all right. So I went there, found out I got suspended for, I don't know, I think it was 2 weeks. Got suspended for like 2 weeks with no pay or something for going to the doctor. Wow, and I was like, really? So I was like, okay, bet. So during that 2 week period, all I did was job search. I ended up getting an interview, got a job offer. So by the time I went back, I had another job lined up. So that first day I went back, I went to her office and was like, here you go. Here's my letter of resignation. And she was like shocked cause she shocked. Everybody thought she hated dudes. When she got that job, she fired every dude who was in leadership except one. And she used to like punk people. Like that one dude that was left, she would have him cornered in the hallway sometimes, like with her finger in his face, just degrading him. Like she was just an evil, and she was the most, I love Jesus, Lord God. But she was like an evil person. Cause I never had problems with anybody I worked with, and I just hated working under her. So anyway, once I put in my resignation, it was a 2-week resignation. I worked out those last 2 weeks, and then, but that last paycheck, like, I didn't get that for like 2 months or something like that. They held it, and I would call people who were over her at the company, like the board. I would call them and be like, hey, what's up on my check? And they'd be like, hey, we're trying to get it, we're hearing that it's in the works. But they literally waited, I think, until like the last moment legally possible to release it. But it kind of ended up working out in my favor because like the vacation I had built up and stuff like that, it ended up like I didn't really miss anything. By the time I got it, it was all good. It was like extra money at that point because I had made it through those 2 weeks. I had some other money that came. So I was like, I'm good. But it was just the pettiness. And I know that was all her, like telling him, nah, don't send it yet. Nah, don't send it yet.
That's crazy, man. People be tripping out here.
Well, so this boss, the local news station caught up with him at the boss that's allegedly did this, and this is how petty this dude is. He said they stopped and talked to him, and he said he didn't know whether or not he had dropped the pennies off at the dude's house. He wasn't sure.
Even better.
And then he said,
"Nope."
Then he said, "I don't." His quote was, "I don't really remember. It doesn't matter. He got paid. That's all that matters." But so my thing is like, who is the joke really on being this petty? Because like, man, look, this man. First of all, where do you get $915 in pennies nowadays,
man?
You
to the bank and ask them to give it to you.
Went to the bank.
You got to go like but they ain't got no $915.
Right, and they would have to order them, and then that's why it took so long to get this man his check.
And it weighed 500 pounds. So like, man, who is the joker? You got 500 pounds of pennies in those little rolls that the bank has done collected.
And then he
unrolled
them because it's just in a pile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then he mixed oil in with them, like poured like motor oil over top of them, something like that. Like
KY jelly.
And then he transferred. Well, the dude that who received him, he's posted like little videos of him trying to clean them because he's got to clean them, and then I guess he's got to put them back in those little stupid things and send them back to the bank.
No, man, you just go up to
the
gas
station,
the
car wash.
Go to the bank,
the grocery store, that little dumping thing.
Oh, that is not going. You can't put oil in there, man. That machine
but you can't do that with a wheelbarrow in there. No, he said that's what he said. He said he's clean them, but he's got to go somewhere to deposit them. But man, that's
Coinstar
gonna take. They're
gonna charge you percent too.
Like 10%. They charge 10%.
Not if you go to the bank though. Some banks or credit unions got them, okay. And then you can do it there. Like so I just take that mug to the car wash, spray that mug down.
Yeah, that's the best you can do. But man, that's crazy.
I'll sure be in the credit union with a wheelbarrow. They're like, sir, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
But seriously, even as a man in his right, a level-headed guy, this deserves a punch in the mouth, though, right? Like, I don't want to go to jail, but I feel like this is, if there's any ever reason, like, this is a good reason. I don't even think the cops would arrest you. They just be like, yo, why you hit him? You'd be like, yo, because he gave me my whole paycheck in pennies, and they had oil on them on top of that. So I stole on them. They'd be like, oh, okay, well, you're free to go.
I'm 100% for that. We need more of that in society. I'm good. Okay. I support it.
That's cool.
You want to do this last one? We just close out one last more silly one?
Close it out.
Okay.
That's it. So, yeah, shout out to Kroger. Remember that lady? Remember I quit on that lady, Paul, because she would never let me off work? I was just like, you know what?
I vaguely recall this, man.
I'm out of here, lady. Right before Thanksgiving. She's like, what? Like, who's supposed to cover the seafood counter? I was like, I don't know, because I quit. I got enough money to last me till I come back home. So, whatever. So
one day I'll tell my good quitting story, but we'll save it for another day. Anyway.
All right. So, Phenom, if the people would like to tell us what type of torture they would put this man through if they gave them their last check in oily pennies, where can they contact us?
Yo, you can contact us. You can hit us at Facebook, the Black Delegates Podcast, You can also email us. We are at theblackdelegatespod@gmail.com. You want to hit us up on social media. Can do an oily slide into our DMs on Instagram at blackdelegates, _ black and delegates. Also the same on Twitter. You want to hit up Box Wine Poppy. He's at Box Wine Poppy on Twitter. The Black Ryan at the Black Ryan on Twitter or the Gram. Or you can hit up me at Ghetto Phenom on Instagram and Twitter. Some folks trying to tag me on my government, man. Don't tag me on the government. You tag me at Ghetto Phenom. Box Wine Poppy, if people want to help out the show, they want to help us to grow, if they want to help us to get that oily money, what can they do?
How's the YouTube voice go on? Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Yeah, do all that, man. Like and subscribe. Give us some ratings, give us 5 stars, tell a friend, all that good stuff. Ryan, close it out, man.
All right, Kabasa, slam that like button, guys. Make sure you use the bathroom before you leave home.
Hey, shouts to the Memphis Tigers, national champions. That's it. Doesn't matter what tournament, but national champions.
Invitational. You forgot the invitational.
Hey, don't matter. Don't matter. That's just technicalities.
All right, so we'll see y'all next week.
Doses.
We need some